Welcome to the not so very official and not so very important trailer breakdown of the GTA 6 trailer, where I'm gonna show you everything that's pretty obvious and you probably haven't missed. So in the first opening scene we see this is actually not appropriate for children, so if you are a child, probably you should stop watching. And then we go into the first scene, and we can see here we have some bridges, one here and one over here. There's a big tower over here. This could be a water treating facility or something like that, and this could be a prison, I think. And then we see on this side over here there is a bit of the city skyline, and we see some birds and a plane and lots of cars and trucks. And on one of these trucks it says Patriot Beer. Okay, the next scene. We see a fence, presumably of the prison, and we can also see some razor wire, I guess it's called, with some clothes on it, probably of people trying to get in or out of the prison. I don't know which direction you want to go, and I don't particularly care. Then we see a couple of birds over here, more trees, street lights, presumably they belong to this parking lot over here where we can maybe see some cars, maybe not. I'm presuming there are cars. Then we get into the next shot where we see Lucia. This is our protagonist, one of them at least. We can see there's a window and she's in her cell, and this is her bed, and here is some kind of window. And then we also can, if we look out the window, we can see other prisoners hanging out in the prison yard. Alright, the next scene we see a person over here, and we can also see she has some photos here from her, a plant, a picture, and a printer, which presumably means we can print stuff in GTA 6, I'm assuming. And then we also see a file over here, which she's obviously now looking into, presumably belonging to Lucia, which is over here. And she is also wearing a badge, and I think her name tag is down here. Alright, let's get on to the next one. And here we see Lucia, and she's saying bad luck, I guess. That's what brought her here. We see a vest hanging down here, books, another picture over here, a picture over here, and some office stuff over here. Presumably that's a plant or something like that. Okay, the next shot. We see a boat driving down the ocean, I guess. See some dolphins, a shark over here, and some nice water effects. Alright, let's get on to the beach. If we go back maybe a little bit, we can also see some jet skis, birds flying over here. We can see the shadows, and then we can see the whole beach where there's people all over the place doing beach stuff. Alright, let's get further. We see a bit of the skyline, then we can see over here a Dodo airplane, chopper over here, and lots of houses and palm trees, and of course the beach. Then we get on here, then we can see Rockstar Games presents. Obviously, what are they going to present us? We don't know. I'm assuming they're presenting us GTA 6. Then we get over into the swamp where we can see a lot more birds, some trees, and the swamp, and some fan boat or something like that. There's somebody sitting with a gun on it and another guy driving it. And we can also see a lot of plants here. So in the next shot, okay, I actually did miss this. This is a shot of a tall building, and Summoning some kind of terrace where people can hang out, and balconies, and if we look very closely, this could be a person standing there. And there's also a plane and more birds and palm trees. Now we see the beach. Maybe we see a lot of different people here hanging out, doing beach stuff. There's a guy taking a picture of somebody's ass. And then we can also see it here, people lying on the beach. We see jet skis, a truck over here, presumably from the Baywatch or something like that. And then we see another guy putting some suntan on her. Some people walking down the beach here, and another person running down the beach with his dog. Maybe it's his dog or her dog, we don't know. And helicopter over here, a sea sparrow over here. This could be a plane. And also we have clouds, which I haven't mentioned, and more city skyline. Alright, in the next picture we see a lot of flamingos. And there's actually a crocodile there. And some other animal over here. And we see trees and some foliage. So now we see this could be potentially Lucia, and this could be actually the first look that we get at Jason. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just some random people. We don't know. There's some maybe sporting arena over here, torch buildings over here, which has a big hole in it, and we see cars driving down the highway. And there we see somebody taking a picture of these guys over here. On to the next scene, we see some lowriders. Presumably we can hang out there, show off our newest rides. And we see a bike over here, some guys hanging out over here, and some nice stores over here, which have some cool painting on them. And then we also see a lot of wiring for power. And an air conditioning over here, and more palm trees and the sky, and there's probably a police chopper and more birds. Alright, then we see a guy over here doing a handshake with somebody else. Then we see a tennis court over here, maybe a turbos over here, and a nice little island here, which we already know from Vice City when we first played it. And of course we see a lot more boats in the sea, and the skyline, and the sky with more planes and choppers. So in the next shot we see some hotels. We see it over here, some nice cars, a beggar over there. This is a boardwalk hotel, and which you actually might have missed, but if you played GTA Vice City, then you probably have missed that. This is the Ocean View Hotel. This is where we stay with Tommy Vercetti at the very beginning of the game. And then we see the Hotel Dixon over here, some flags, which are probably presumably Mexican flag, maybe? And palm trees, of course, always palm trees. So in the next scene we see some container boats, islands, what is it called, a blimp? Another, then we see another, what was it called, a Dodo seaplane? Yeah, we see another Dodo seaplane over here, more boats, a bridge that isn't really connected anymore, but presumably you can jump over here, try to get away from the police. And another bridge over here, which probably leads either into the city or out of the city, depending on which direction you're going. And then we see a small building over here, and presumably a small port over here. Get on to the next scene where we are in the nightclub. We have a DJ making some music, people partying. Yeah, some moons over here, nice lighting. And then we can see a nice lady here hanging out in some kind of balcony with a pool on it. We can see a little bit of party, more of the city. You can also have a nice look at that bikini over here, which has some sort of brand, which we already know from the casino DLC. And then we see presumably the Vice City logo, which is actually before that. Okay, we actually did miss it. And then we see a guy having another guy having a party with younger girls. Do you see American flags on his boat? Some champagne over there. Yeah, just a guy having party, and he's some kind of social media where we get a lot more of these now. A guy trying to get an alligator out of the pool, and we see a woman on a roof of a car, presumably dancing on it, which seems quite dangerous, but that's presumably what people do in Vice City. And of course, this is more social media, which we are gonna get a lot more of now. And we see some sort of street race where there's people doing some donuts and a lot of people standing around having a great time and also blocking the streets, so it sucks if you wanted to go that direction. Well, tough bananas for you. And then we have more social media, some girls dancing for the camera. And we see an alligator coming into a store, presumably going to get some pastries over here. And we can also see a guy over here thinking, yeah, this is probably normal. And the shop clerk over here, yeah, he knows that alligator comes here every day. Maybe we'll also get a lottery ticket over here. Maybe buy some paper towels over here. This is actually in a gas station, in the shop of a gas station. And we can actually see this is a front door camera. And then we can see a guy running in front of a gas station who's wearing not very much, but at least he's wearing something. And he's getting chased by the police. This is a police car over here, and he's running down. Don't know why he's not shooting him. It would be a lot easier. Let's get on to the next scene where we can see a guy apologizing for his driving behavior. And we can also see this is in the place of Leonida, I presume, which is the state of Florida in the GTA universe. And then we can see somebody driving in his own manner, presumably to express himself. This is how he rides. Presumably he died by doing that, because we can see here it says RIP Rudy, see you in heavy cars. And then we see some decals on this pickup truck over here, and a lot more palm trees and the sky, of course. Then we see the Shrillbilly Mud Club. They seem to have a lot of fun, where we can see a lot of off-road vehicles, people just playing in the mud, some trees in the background, and they're having a really great time. And then we see some sort of bridge structure over here where you probably can go if you have enough of the mud. And then we can actually see some toilets over there. Don't know why you won't need them when you have a big mud pool over here where you could just do your business in. Alright, then we see a nice little lady showing off her hammers in front of a car which has a broken front windshield. And we can see some nice apartments, and this is presumably in the district of Hamlet. And now we see some guy jumping on a table at a party, which might have not been so good if he landed on this crate of beer over here, but presumably he missed it, and he's also got beer in the hand, so presumably he's drunk. Alright, on to the next scene. We see a billboard over here. With angsty pain, it cures emotions, and we see a lot more police cars, and there are some more billboards which give us an idea what kind of stores to expect down the road. Alright, and this seems to be a little bit more of an industrial area in the background. And if we actually go further, we actually get our first real look at our guy Jason over here. And we can also see in the mirror here from the car what is behind the car. And he's wearing a watch and steering the vehicle. Alright, then in the next scene we see Lucia having a lot of money, presumably borrowing from some kind of store involuntarily. And then we see a nice crash scene over here. Somebody flipped his car, presumably going too fast, maybe going in the wrong direction, and hitting these water barrels over here, which are now all over the road. And then we see some police cars trying to divert traffic, people trying to warn them of the crash that had just happened and get a general assessment of the situation, I guess. And we can actually see this is broadcasted by Visa News, which is back now. And then we see our Joker guy over here. And there's something written in Spanish, some kind of confession which was written in ink, which led to his. And then we see also the correction sheriff's office thing badge over here with a nice little logo over here with a woman and a boat over here, some sort of snake which probably is going to bite the lady, and then we see some sort of alligator which is presumably about to eat a child. And now we see some sort of motorcycle gang with off-road bikes and some quads going down the neighborhood, and some people cheering on, taking photos. And then we get another look from Visa News, where we see the gang going to the police, which are probably trying to stop them from raising havoc in the city. Obviously, they are not being very successful with it. Alright, and then we see the High Rollers Lifestyle, which show off some nice vehicles. Presumably those were tuned to some degree. We see a little pickup truck over here and a lot more cars over here, people standing around looking at the cars, and then we see a traffic light, then we see a billboard about who hurt you, and a lot more billboards and a street sign showing you the direction where you are going. Alright, in the next scene we see Lucia and Jason at shopping. Then we see a nice little crate of Pisswasser 9, which could be alcohol-free beer. And we see a lot more liquor over here and some E-cola over here. And we go further through the store. We see more stuff that you can buy here. Some chips, I presume. Could be over here something. Oh yeah, that's Pisswasser. It cost almost $15. With or without tax. I'm presuming without tax because this is America. And then we see them driving off from the store in a hurry. Presumably they have some sort of appointment somewhere else. And we can see them drifting around. Then we see them at the hotel, which they probably wanted to go very fast because they had some business over there, or maybe they have rented the room and didn't really use it much, and now they feel like they need to actually make use of that room. So then they're talking about that they should trust each other, and Jason agrees, yeah, trust is a good thing. You can see a TV remote over here, a lamp over here, some sort of sign, and a picture here. And presumably they are on a bed. And sees them entering another store. Lucia is having a gun in her hand. I don't know why she would do that. Can only assume maybe she wants to return the gun. Maybe there's some sort of problem with it. Alright, then we see a lot more advertisement on the doors. Maybe they just want to show off their guns now. Look how nice these are. You should buy them. Maybe this is some kind of commercial for the store where they want some sort of experience where you can get into be at a robbery of a store. I don't think that's anything illegal. And then we get a look at the Grand Theft Auto 6 logo, and we can actually see it has some sort of copyright R, and that it's coming in 2025, which might actually be possible. And they kind of wanted to release it in the fiscal year of 2024, which actually goes until March 2025. So presumably we could play it in spring 2025, maybe earliest. But probably looking more at like fall, around Christmas time. That's about it. And we see the nice Rockstar logo now in the colors of Vice City. And that's pretty much it of the trailer.